What up, YouTube? It's your girl TT Shanell, and it is reaction video time. Now, shout out to everybody in Wisconsin. This was actually, this topic was one of the first videos that I did on this channel. It's one of the reasons why I do what I do, because if you don't really know what this guy did, he like took his car and ran through a parade and killed a bunch of innocent people. And during his during his trial, he decided to represent himself, and it just was a complete circus act. I ended up falling in love with the judge. Shout out to Judge Jennifer Darrell. She's very beautiful. She's very good at what she do. She kept her patience throughout the whole trial, and this guy was a complete asshole. Like, he made it seem like he knew the law, but in all reality, he knew nothing. And he's exactly where he deserves to be, because he killed a bunch of innocent people. And that shit just don't sit right with me. So I'm back again on this topic because he's back again. He's back in headlines. And I'm not going to lie. I don't know everything. Like, duh. Who the hell knows everything? So when I read the title, which says Darrell Brooks restitution hearing, judge decides Brooks will pay more, and I'm like, I ain't gonna lie, I really didn't know what restitution is. So if you're anything like me, who probably don't know what it is, we're gonna find out right now. What is restitution? Next Google.
Here's the definition of restitution: the restoration of something lost or stolen to its proper owner.
Well, okay. He was ordered to pay $6,000 in restitution. I'm guessing it's kind of like, you hurt your victims, you gotta pay for family damages and things of that nature. So I don't feel bad for him because he deserves it. So let's get into this clip. It's 34 minutes. I'm definitely not gonna watch the whole thing. I just want to get to the nitty gritty of things. So hit that subscribe button. I hope you're feeling good. Hope you're feeling great. Shout out to the good people in Wisconsin. My girlfriend is from Wisconsin, so I'm gonna back the mic up a little bit. Hello, Wisconsin. I gotta say that. Let's go.
Judge.
All right, he did put gave
low
us
as
the
hell.
thumbs up signal. We're here today to address the state's request for additional restitution. That letter was filed back on November 30th of 2022. The court had given Mr. Brooks until January 3 to file an objection. January 3.
Hey, Jennifer. She's so beautiful. Shout out to Jennifer. Wasn't she was running for something? I don't know what it was, but she was running for something. Drop a comment. Let me know how's that going for her.
To
If
file
you guys
an
know.
objection, and a response was filed that the court interpreted as an objection. Since that time, Attorney Covey has been appointed to represent Mr. Brooks in the appellate process, but you are appearing here today, and we are thankful for that. But I would note the original court's calendar. Originally, I'm just going to do a quick calculation to determine the additional amount to crime victim compensation the state is seeking. Looks like that's $10,000.
Okay, so yeah, it's basically like I said, you got to pay back for, the damages that you caused for the family and etc. The state.
$246.20.
Damn.
I'm sorry, could you repeat that number?
Assuming I hit the keys on my calculator correctly, it's the difference between the 134 plus minus the 124, and that's $10,246.20.
Yes, we agree with that.
All right, and then the additional other amounts to other individuals, namely insurance.
And to be honest, that ain't even. Oh, I mean, I just want to be more money, because that's not enough. Like, no money in the world could pay back for what he did, But it's a start.
Companies are really those four amounts that are listed in the, near the bottom of this document to Hartford Insurance, the Optum, and Progressive for two different victims.
Yes, correct.
All right, is that your understanding of what was being requested, Attorney?
A restitution, not a escrow account beyond that. Under 949-165.
I'm sorry, Counselor, if I may, just for 1 second. Oh, yeah. I get it now.
I get it now.
Okay, thank you so much.
I got it too.
Judge,
and I-
Counsel explained to me briefly what she was getting at. I don't have any objection to that.
All right. Then, it seems to me there's really just some legal arguments as to whether I should order the additional restitution.
So, but it seems like he not representing himself no more. That's what it seems like, right? I know you're probably like, duh, TT, or no, TT. Listen, I don't know about this law-ish, man. This ain't my field. But stuff like this, like the news, I watch more so I can learn more.
Yes, Judge.
The stipulation then would put us in a position where Mr. Brooks does not need to testify. That's my understanding, and that would be how I would proceed. Anyone see that any differently? Attorney Opper?
We do not.
Yeah, we
Judge,
don't want to
that
hear him
was the
talk.
reason why I suggested the stipulation.
All right, thank you. Then, since it is the state's request for additional restitution, I'll hear from the state.
Thank you, Judge. Your Honor, we are asking this court to order restitution in the full amount as proposed in the document we filed yesterday. I think you said it was 566.
Yes, Counselor. Here.
Thank you. I'm sorry. I just don't know the document number.
Yes, it is document number 566.
Judge, we certainly understand ability to pay as one of the factors that the court is to consider here, but we'd like to highlight a couple of things. First of all, one of the goals of restitution is to rehabilitate the defendant. We think that is an important goal in this case, noting the damage that was inflicted by this defendant to multiple victims. We would note that most of the monies, or at least a majority of the monies, came from the Crime Victim Compensation Fund, which really is funded by taxpayers. It's a state fund, and that I'm glad to see on this list there's no individual victims. That the desire for the public to have those monies repaid to the CVC if appropriate. As far as the insurance companies'
A fund for victims to seek reimbursement. It's my understanding that this restitution amount that's being requested would be larger. I don't know if it would be substantially larger if all losses were being requested by the state.
That's an accurate statement, Your Honor, and I think it's very fair to say it would have been substantially larger if it not had been for the generosity of individuals who contributed to those funds.
As I recall, were there millions in that fund at one point?
I believe that's accurate, yes. I've confirmed that.
All right, and then
Okay, shout out to Wisconsin. Y'all had raised some money for the victims. That's what's up, man. I was speaking to my girl today. I wanna move down there for like a few months or so. Just to, she's from there. I wanna, why not? Know her culture and the Wisconsin life.
Although I'm relatively new to the case, I can state.
What?
Thank you. Then turning to you, Attorney Colby.
Thank you, Judge. Although I'm relatively new to the case, I can state just from my review of the file so far, I haven't heard anything at all about anybody offering any kind of book deal or any kind of sums of money in any way, shape, or form to Mr. Brooks. I think it's.
Don't nobody want to give him no book deal for what? You're a sick man. You're a psycho. Like, don't nobody. I'm mad that they even, like, why are you still wasting taxpayers' dollars going even into court? Like, what? No. Book deal. Huh?
The odds of Hollywood knocking down his door to give him lots of money for his life story, I think given the totality of the circumstances of this case, I just think are
Slim
so
to none.
minuscule. that I don't think.
Exactly. No one wants to do a movie on you. No one wants to do a book deal on you. All you are is just a nutcase who took your car and drove it into a parade and hurt a bunch of innocent people. Okay? Like,
That argument should be given much weight. I also couldn't imagine any of the media, whether it's a YouTube blogger or the people that are next door to this courtroom, offering Mr. Brooks any money for some kind of exclusive interview. I cannot foresee the future with 1,000% certainty, but I think the odds of that, again, are just exceptionally low. I appreciate the fact, Judge, that the state's stipulating that he's indigent. I think counsel mentioned minimum, and I just want to make sure that the court recognizes that we're not talking minimum wage as a legal $17, $18, $19 an hour for prison work.
$17 an hour for minimum wage is crazy. I looked up what minimum wage was in a state that I currently live in. I think it was like I don't want to be lying. I think it was like 14 something. And that broke my heart. That broke my heart. I feel like this country makes billions. I don't even want to say a name, but what does the average rich athlete makes a year? Right? There should be no reason why there's somebody who's busting their ass in a hot kitchen or not even in a hospital saving lives. You know what I'm saying? Getting paid minimum wage, or even though people in the hospitals, they don't get minimum wage. So let me not even compare it to that. So let's compare it to, like I said, like being in a hot kitchen, feeding people, making sure that, you're being a public servant, making sure people eat, whatever the case may be, and you're getting paid $14 or $15 an hour. That's freaking ridiculous. That's just ridiculous. And then there's just athlete who's getting paid millions and millions of dollars to just athlete, I don't know. Whatever.
If he's offered work in any of the facilities that he's going to be serving time in, at best he'll be getting perhaps a few dimes an hour for janitorial work or cleaning up the kitchen. The type of wages that are earned by inmates in our correctional system, they're not used to save up lots of money. They're used to sometimes save up to buy a bag of Doritos or some deodorant or toiletries.
You see, kids, this is why you shouldn't go to jail. Because when you go to jail, you're a slave by law, right? And on top of that, you get paid dimes an hour. I just complained about $14, $15 an hour. Imagine going somewhere and getting paid a dime an hour. You understand? Like, jail is not cool. There's nothing fun about jail. Like, men that's not gay, what's fun about being surrounded by a bunch of men? And even if you are gay, what's fun about being surrounded by a bunch of men that gonna be there every day, same dudes every day? Like, how is that fun? Women too. What's fun about being in jail? That's nothing fun. It's nothing. You understand? Okay, do everything you can do to avoid jail, because there's nothing fun about getting paid 10 cents an hour. Okay, there's nothing appealing about that. Nothing that makes me want to say, oh, let me go grab a gun and go slide on the op, knowing that I could go to jail and get 10 cents an hour and be a legal slave. Okay, so remember that when you're thinking about going to jail or doing some dumb shit. Okay.
Essentially, his earning capacity, if they let him work, perhaps $1 or $2 a day if he works the entire day. So that's the reality of what he's facing. Judge, counsel touched on this, and I appreciate her argument. Frankly, whether you order $50,000 or $500,000 or $5 million, it's very unlikely that Mr. Brooks would be able to pay even the smallest fraction of that. But this hearing still matters. This is not just a moot point or a moot exercise, because you do have the duty, Judge, to balance 5 sometimes competing factors as listed in Wisconsin Statute 973.2013. I mentioned it in my motion. And then, of course, the fifth factor was, I sent a letter to the court about that yesterday. The 5 factors are the amount of loss suffered by any victim as a result of the crime considered at sentencing. 2, financial resources of the defendant. 3, the present and future earning ability of the defendant. 4, the needs and earning ability of the defendant, factor which the court deems appropriate. Judge, I'll go just a little bit out of order. On subsection 4 regarding Mr. Brooks' dependents, recognizing that he's currently serving multiple life sentences consecutive, realistically, he's not going to be able to support his dependents anyways. And so that factor isn't really on point for this hearing. On the first...
Is he trying to make us feel bad for him? Because it's not working. Because nobody give a fuck. You give a fuck? Drop a comment. No, we don't give a fuck. So, what?
Criteria, the amount of loss suffered from the victims, I'm not surprised that the totality could be in the millions of dollars. I'm sure it's an absolutely enormous amount. And you have that discretion to give that factor great weight. I concede that. But I also hope that you consider the next 2 factors as well, and they kind of go together. His earning ability and his current financial resources. I hope that gets great weight as well. She's had significant financial problems even before.
There were 73 named victims, one of
Exactly.
whom was
So don't nobody feel bad for him.
rehabilitation is a
My bad. I'm trying to get to the nitty
and so
gritty.
that this award of restitution in full, as the state has requested, is important. And
In
I will
full.
grant the additional amounts, as I indicated earlier. It's $10,246.26.
Paid 'em.
20 cents.
You make 10 cents an hour? We want it. You should never killed those people, you piece of shit. I'm